Right, okay. Let's react to the game today against Livingston. So the game ended 0-0, and it was it was really boring in the first half, pretty tense in the second half. We had Scott Brown go down injured, and he's unfortunately had to come off. I hope he's good for next Friday when they play Dunfermline. And then I think we had Ewan Murray go down as well. So that was bad. That was in the second half. So we had two injury concerns there. So hopefully everything's good there. Afterwards, it was a pretty boring first half. I'd say Raith had the best half chance, I suppose. But other than that, it was a bit. We had one chance we were in on goal, but it was straight at the keeper in the second half. And after that, it was effectively all Livingston. I mean, they were basically, in the last 20 minutes especially, they were throwing bodies and bodies and bodies and bodies. And eventually we brung Vaughan and Gibson on. I can't remember if Marsh came on or not now that I'm thinking about it. I want to say he did, but part of me says that he didn't. And yeah, Livingston were throwing bodies. Livingston actually score, I think in the 60-something minute, 68 or something like that, about an hour or so into the game, and they score, and luckily it's offside. So I think if it wasn't for that, we would have lost the game. So that was good for us, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know what more to say, to be honest. It was a pretty dull game. The second half was really, really nerve-wracking as well, because it almost seemed like we were playing for the point rather than playing for the win. So, yeah, or playing for a sort of sneaky winner, which makes sense. I mean, you're playing a title challenger, whereas we're sort of brandishing mid-table at the moment, and we've just came off a 4-0 loss to Queen's Park, so I get it. But yeah, it was a good point to get, to go to Livingston, to go to third place in the league and get a point is really good. I don't know what to add to that, other than the fact that it's pretty concerning how many players went down almost injured. I get that you're late in the season, injuries are going to be more common, fatigue can set in, things like that, but that was not a good sign for me. It was good to see Vaughan come on. He didn't do too much. He got the ball a few times, but we were playing quite defensively already at the time. We brought on Liam Dick as our first substitution that wasn't an injury sub. So I don't know what that says about the tactics, but we brought on a defender rather than an attacker, when we're equal, which makes sense, I suppose. On one hand, you're playing third in the league in a really physical team, and you want to bring on someone that has that sort of stature to go and take the blows that you might get. Whereas Vaughan is kind of the opposite, where, you know, to a certain extent, pretty injury prone. You don't want to sort of put him against a pretty physical Livingston team, but bringing on someone like Marsh would have been good, I think, before bringing on someone like Liam Dick. But we got the point, so clearly I was probably wrong if that was Robson's tactics today. If it was to go and play for the point, then I'd say he did what he had to do. I suppose I'm looking at it way too optimistically and I'm wanting the win, when if you're looking at it on paper, I suppose the point is what you, I suppose, can aim for in a realist sense. If you're an optimist, you want the win, a cheeky 1-0 win, but yeah, that didn't happen tonight. And luckily we didn't lose because that Livingston goal was offside. There was a free kick at the very end that was pretty dangerous, but well, it looked pretty dangerous, but luckily that was straight at Ray. So yeah, it was pretty non-eventful. I don't think the highlights will be that long, really. But at the time, it was pretty intense. So yeah, on to Friday, or next Friday even, and on to playing Dunfermline. I hope we can get something out of that. I'm hoping for a good 2-0 win, let's say. But tonight was a 0-0. Bored in the first half. Scary when it came to the injuries / the amount of players that were going down. And I'd say the optimism is that we got a point. We showed that we can put up a fight against a team like a Livingston, like a Falkirk, for example. Even though that was in the Scottish Cup, it shows that we can put up a fight against these sort of upper table teams. So I hope that gives us a bit of momentum and a bit of a confidence boost from last Saturday. I hope that gives us more of a positive mindset to go into the derby. So yeah, that's been my impressions, and I'll see you next week.